Hello and welcome back to Football Daily. Ahead of the upcoming season, we've picked out an XI of players to watch this campaign. Here we go. Goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. The oldest player on our list, 26-year-old Bernd Leno, had already wrapped up his big summer move, swapping Leverkusen for London. Arsenal paid around €20 million for the 6'3" stopper, with Petr Cech, now 36, and David Ospina failing to settle at the Emirates. But what can Gooners expect from the big German? Leno is hugely experienced at the top level, playing more than 300 games for Bayer Leverkusen, including nearly 40 in the Champions League. The keeper won the Confederations Cup with his country in 2017, and though he has earned a reputation for the occasional clanger, his numbers look solid. In 17-18, he saved 57% of shots he faced from the danger zone. That's the area inside the box and in front of goal, which compares well to Jan Oblak on 63% and Keylor Navas on 60%. Leno also caught 89% of high balls into the box, and fortunately, after the worst season of Cech's career, expectations are so low in North London that he can hardly fail to impress. After years of underperformance between the sticks, Arsenal have to hope that they finally found a safe pair of hands. Right back, Pablo Maffeo. Back in May, many Man City fans were shocked when the club announced that they had sold right-back Pablo Maffeo. The Spaniard was expected by many to be promoted to the first team for 2018-19 after a third strong season on loan at Girona, but instead Maffeo has joined Stuttgart, with the German outfit forking out €9 million for him. Last year, Stuttgart finished 7th, conceding 36 in 34 to boast the second-best defence in the Bundesliga behind Bayern, and Maffeo looks a solid addition. He turns 21 in July 2018 and is a busy defender, averaging 4.2 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes as he helped Girona come 10th in their first top-flight campaign. He had a passable attacking output too, with one key pass and one dribble a game, but was more impressive in the air, winning 63% of his aerial duels, the same as Sergio Ramos. It remains to be seen whether Maffeo can maintain that output, standing at 5'8" and moving to a more physical league. But all the indications are that he can aid Stuttgart in their push for Champions League football, something that they haven't experienced since 2009. Centre-back, Konrad Laimer. Last season, RB Leipzig had 7 players at the club who joined from their sister side RB Salzburg. Konrad Laimer arrived in Germany in 2017, fresh from winning a third consecutive domestic double and the Austrian League's Player of the Season award, and was intended to be the long-term replacement for Naby Keita in the heart of their midfield. But instead, after starting just 4 games in the first half of the year, the Austrian broke into the first team as a makeshift right-back. A more withdrawn role allows Laimer to showcase his defensive capabilities, and the 21-year-old put up a massive 3.9 tackles per 90. This ranks him 21st out of around 1,800 players to appear in Europe's top 5 leagues last season. That suggests that with Keita, who wins possession around 5 times a game, moving to Liverpool, Laimer can replicate the Guinean's work rate without the ball. His pace and pressing ability means that Laimer could himself be a target for top sides before too long. And in the meantime, the Red Bulls will hope that he can lend some solidity to a side which conceded 53 goals in 34 matches in 17-18. Centre-back, Felix Udukai. Wolfsburg endured a horror season in 17-18, finishing 16th and having to get through a relegation playoff to retain their Bundesliga status. But a bright spot was the emergence of centre-back Felix Udukai. The 20-year-old German joined the Wolves from 1860 Munich a year ago and played just over half of the club's league games in his maiden campaign. At 6'2", Udukai is already a physically imposing defender, racking up a 58% aerial win percentage, which could climb as he fills out. He also leads Wolfsburg in clearances per game with 3.7, and he's adept at stepping out of the backline, winning possession 4.4 times per match. Solid on the ball too, Udukai completes around 53 passes per 90 minutes, the third most at the club, and produces 3.8 accurate long balls while maintaining an 86% pass accuracy. With Pavard, Diallo and Soyuncu all attracting attention from European giants this summer, Udukai could be the next young defender to break out of the Bundesliga. Meanwhile, let's just hope he can keep Wolfsburg there. Left back, Lucas Hernandez. The Hernandez brothers already feel like they've been around for years, but Lucas, the older of the two, is still only 22. He has now been an Atletico Madrid player for half his life, and 17-18 was the first season which he played more than half of the club's league games, making 43 appearances in all competitions to double his number of senior matches. Like his brother Theo, Lucas can play at left back or centre half, and he's excelled in both roles. He wins possession nearly 6 times a game, and his pace also makes him a threat on the flank, completing 1.3 dribbles per match, more than Cristiano Ronaldo. However, his desire to get forward rarely puts his side in danger, as he completed 30 of the 38 dribbles he attempted last year and lost possession only 12 times in 27 La Liga appearances. With 6 yellows and 1 red in the same time, Hernandez does need to work on his discipline, but he still gets fouled more often than he fouls, winning 46 free kicks and giving away only 31. Already a regular for France and now a World Cup winner, Hernandez is the perfect heir to Filipe Luis and is sure to star for a new look Atleti. Midfield, Stanislav Lobotka.
Want more football news from here, there and everywhere around the globe? Why not click the I button up there right now and get over to Football Mundial, where Zach Jalab, aka Gammon Head, and Mr Bean, Michael McCubbin, talk a load of nonsense about football stories you probably haven't heard.
With Jorginho having officially joined Chelsea, Napoli have been looking for a replacement, and the name most frequently linked with the Partenape has been that of Stanislav Lobotka. The Slovakian was playing in Denmark as recently as 2017, but spent last season with Celta Vigo, who paid just €5 million for him. Lobotka plays as the deepest midfielder for the Galician outfit, but doesn't put up huge defensive numbers with just 3 tackles and interceptions a match. That's because Celta control games by keeping the ball, with their average of 54% possession, the 5th highest in La Liga, and Lobotka completes more short passes than anyone else, keeping play ticking over with around 61 passes per match. But his best virtue is undoubtedly his press resistance. The 23-year-old has a touch of Luka Modric to him, skillfully evading his marker and turning defences into attack with 1.4 successful dribbles a game. Amazingly, only 4 of the 48 take-ons he attempted last year ended in failure, and he also lost possession just 33 times in 38 appearances, making Lobotka perfect for a side like Napoli who dominate the ball. Just don't expect him to be there too long. Midfield, Filip Krovinovic. It might seem strange to include someone on our team who played just 815 minutes in 17-18, but Filip Krovinovic looks set for stardom before he ruptured his cruciate ligament in January. The Croatian is another promising midfielder off the conveyor belt which produced Rakitic, Modric, Kovacic and Brozovic, and like the last 3, he was educated at Dinamo Zagreb before moving to Portugal. Now 22, Krovinovic is a solid all-rounder and picked up a goal and an assist in his meagre time on the field. If he'd stayed fit, he might well have ended up with an impressive goal haul, as the youngster took 1.5 shots from inside the box per 90 minutes played, the same as goal-scoring midfielders like Marek Hamsik, Asensio and Isco. He also won the ball 3 times, completed a dribble and laid on a chance every game, showing the versatility Croatian talent is famed for. Having spent just €3 million on the player, Benfica have slapped a €60 million release clause on him, and if he can make a full recovery this term, Krovinovic may well earn the Eagles a hefty windfall in 2019. Midfield, Nicola Barea. A Cagliari youth product, Nicola Barea is a versatile midfielder coming off his 2nd season as a first-choice starter for the Rossablu. In 2016, Barea helped the Sardinians return to Serie A, and he's since caught the eye as the most attacking in Cagliari's midfield 3. With just 1 key pass and 1 shot a game, Barea is no creative powerhouse, but he's able to break up opposition moves and take his team up the field with a ball at his feet. He makes 4.2 tackles and interceptions per 90, superior to Nemanja Madic's 3.8, and completes 1.5 dribbles, the same as zone movers like N'Golo Kante, David Silva and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Though he stands just 5'9", that low centre of gravity makes Barea hard to dispossess, with the Italian winning 2 free kicks for his team every match. With over 50 appearances for Italy's youth sides, he's yet to earn a senior call-up, but Barea doesn't turn 22 until 2019 and is already the subject of offers from Juventus and Liverpool. Expect more heads to be turned by the end of the coming season. Forward, Malcolm. Bordeaux's Malcolm looked destined for Tottenham or Arsenal during the 2018 January transfer window, but now the Brazilian seems set for a switch to Italy, with Inter Milan leading the chase. The Nerazzurri's current wide options Candreva and Perisic are 31 and 29 respectively, making a move for the 21-year-old a smart idea. Despite his tender years, Malcolm was involved in 19 goals in Ligue 1 last campaign, with only 11 players involved in more. That made him responsible for 36% of the Girondins' goals, something national coach Tite sadly didn't recognise, leaving him out of the Seleção's World Cup squad. However, Malcolm's stats suggest a star in the making. Last year, he was 15th in Europe among under-23s for dribbles completed per 90 minutes, managing 2.9 at a crazy 73% success rate. And he ranked first for chances created per game on 2.7, beating Ousmane Dembele into 2nd and Asensio into 3rd. That puts Malcolm's creative output on par with Emil Forsberg and Kevin De Bruyne, and would surely see his assist numbers skyrocket if he was paired with Mauro Icardi, who scored 29% of his shots last season, 13% higher than Harry Kane. Forward, Luka Jovic. Serbian forward Luka Jovic travelled to the World Cup in 2018 after winning just a single cap for his nation. Only 10 players of the 736 at the tournament are younger than the Eintracht Frankfurt man, who, at 20, is coming off his first season in Europe's top 5 leagues, having switched from Benfica in 2017. Jovic scored 8 and assisted 1 in 924 minutes last year, a goal involvement every 103 minutes, and he already looks unusually good at getting on the end of chances. Across Europe's top 5 leagues last season, no one under 23 took more shots per game than his 3.7, and in fact the only players under 25 to take more shots were Kane, Dybala and Depay. Fairly elite company. And while over half of Depay and Dybala's shots came from outside the box, 3.3 of Jovic's 3.7 were taken from inside the area, very close to Kane's 3.5, and exactly what you want in a centre-forward. Jovic's shot numbers mean that the only forwards in the Bundesliga to put up more expected goals per 90 than his 0.74 were Aubameyang and Lewandowski, and most impressively, Jovic did it at a club which managed just 45 league goals, under half of Bayern's tally. Alongside Sebastian Haller, perhaps the youngster can power a challenge for the top 4 next season. Forward, Munir. We almost included Valencia's Santi Mina here, who was involved in a goal every 111 minutes last season, but instead we went for his compatriot Munir, who spent the year on loan at Alaves from Barcelona. The 22-year-old notched 10 goals and 6 assists in the league, giving him the same creative output as Marcelo and Asensio, and more goals than Angel Correa and Isco. Munir hit the headlines earlier in 2018 when he tried to change national allegiance from Spain to Morocco to earn a place at the World Cup. But if he continues his current trajectory, he could one day travel to the tournament with La Roja. He produces 2.3 shots a game and creates 1.5 chances, and though neither of those numbers is spectacular, 2017-18 was the third consecutive season to see an improvement in both categories. It also looks more impressive when set against Alaves' attacking output, with the Basque side only managing 10.3 shots per game, the second lowest in the league. Real Betis are already exploring a deal for the forward, and with a mooted price of €15 million, he could be a bargain for the South Coast side.
Congratulations, you've reached the end of the video. Your reward, the face of the poshest man in Football Daily. For more great content, why don't you click in this box here, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.